Yo, yo, yo. See ya, guys. You welcome to Gooners and Mags, guys. See ya. You know what, yeah? I'm with this Newcastle fan. See. Let's
Just,
get this all correct.
just
Let's
this
get this all
Newcastle.
correct. See, it's high time I go to war with Steve McCullough. Newcastle, for some reason, are mauling teams, beating up teams, destroying teams out there. And you know what? I'm beginning to see one or two Newcastle fans crawl up, from the rock that they've been living on and,
Yeah, like who?
living in, and
Yeah, like
they're
who?
beginning to talk. They're
Yeah, like
beginning to
who?
talk. So you know what? Yeah, Steve McCullough, you're welcome to Gunners and Mags,
Yes.
episode 4. It's a milestone for us, my brother. You're welcome to the show, man.
Thank you for having me on. And I want to make this very clear to the audience. This fucking guy right here is declaring on war with a man who did nothing, who is innocent. Yeah? Just saying. This is an unprovoked attack for whatever reason. He's starting the war, not me. So, what it is.
See, yeah, guys, yeah. Newcastle have been talking tough. I've seen Steve McCullough, in some couple of shows, doing some talking here and there, talking about Newcastle. Okay, you know what, yeah? Take us through Newcastle's win in the weekend, 3-0,
Monday. Yeah.
completely destroying Leicester City, putting them on a spliff, destroying them, giving them no time to even breathe. And this destruction was done in the first half. See, Steve McCullough, take us through Leicester City. It hurts me because right now I'm not seeing Newcastle as title, like genuine, not just title contenders, but genuine title contenders. Steve McCullough, take us through that win against Leicester City.
Terrific performance that every single week it just becomes more and more consistent. It becomes dominant again. The thing for me, it's like it's just becoming normal. Like this stuff, these type of wins don't surprise me anymore, which is the crazy part because I never saw this at Newcastle. Never before 2022, honestly, before that. So it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable, honestly. So I'm buzzing. Absolutely buzzing. So we'll just see.
No,
We'll see what
yeah,
happens out of this year. But yeah, I think goddamn, we've been terrific.
no, you got see, man. I don't know how to explain it, man. But the thing that's really eating me deep is that Newcastle are not just like see. There's a difference when a team is actually beating teams and when a team is actually dominating.
Yeah.
Absolute destruction. Like, and you guys don't even wait for it to get into the second half no more. The complete destruction is actually done in the first half.
Yeah.
Like, man, take
Then we
us through
can
that, man.
conserve our energy for the next game. We get the game dealt with in the first half, and then second half comes around, and we can just go into cruise control mode. We're still like we still play hard the whole game, but you know what I'm saying. We don't
Yeah. I completely get
we
that, man.
don't need to go and destroy them 8-0 and waste a bunch of energy.
Hmm.
We can conserve our energy for the next game, and then
For the
we can
next game.
destroy them, and it's becoming a theme. It really is. So I'm quite
Yeah.
happy.
See, yeah, in that game, yeah, Chris Wood scoring the first goal, that penalty, like, was that really a penalty to you? Did it look like a
Yeah,
penalty to you?
absolutely, no question about it.
No
Absolutely,
question about it. Before you take
absolutely.
us through that,
Do you
the
think it was
sports
a penalty?
capital.
Did you? Do you think?
Before you finish that, Steve McCullough, the sports capital is down here with us. Monte is here with us. Monte, big ups to you, man. Big ups to you. And of course, this is Gunners and Mags So big ups, the sports capital, and thanks for joining us down here. Guys, if you've not subscribed to Monte, the sports capital, go down there and just subscribe to him. He's our brother, is our friend, although he's from Manchester United. So yeah, yeah. Steve McCullough, continue what you were saying, man. Continue
Yeah,
mounting off. Continue mounting off.
I ain't mouthing off, bro. I'm just
Mm.
speaking facts.
But sooner or later you have to talk up your team because see, yeah, Steve McCullough, whether you like it or not, Newcastle. I know you've been humble about the whole thing. Personally,
I
from
still
from
think
my point of view, you've
we'll
been
still
very
be top
humble.
four.
But there will be a time that all that humility will be thrown out the door, and you have to come out talking tough. Because if Newcastle keep putting up this win, posting up this wins, it's going to well up into a crescendo where we have to say, you know what? Newcastle are in this to win this. There have to be a point you have to come out and say that. At what
Yeah,
point would you
why?
get?
Why?
What point? At what point would that reach for you this season?
I don't know. It depends. Okay, let's say that Man City and Arsenal lose this weekend and we win, and then we beat you guys on Tuesday. I'm saying hypothetically.
Hypothetically, yeah.
Let's say if those events took place, then
Mm,
we could talk about us being a title challenger, right? If you
mm.
guys slip up, and then if Man City slip up, we overtake Man City. Maybe we have them by the balls for about 4 or 5 weeks. Maybe we could be title contenders. You never know.
So
Right
so
now, I'm
wait, so
just
so
saying.
so Steve McCullough, right
Sure.
now, Steve, see, yeah, right now you're not taking Newcastle as starter contenders right now. Is that what
Not
you're
yet.
saying, man? Because the statistics doesn't show that you're on a winning. You're on how many games winning streak are you guys on right now?
6.
It's
All
on a 6 game
competitions,
win.
all competitions, or
Mhm,
Premier League specific.
all competitions right now. Steve, you guys are on an 8 to 9
We've been
game
doing
winning
it
streak, man.
with some crazy regularity. Yeah. So let's just look, right? We beat
Mm-hmm.
Leicester. That's 1.
Mm-hmm.
Chelsea 1-0 win.
Yeah.
Southampton 4-1 win. Aston Villa 4-0 win. Spurs
Yeah.
2-1 win.
Yeah.
Everton win. Drew with Man United. So that's 7 unbeaten. 6 in a
That's
row.
7 unbeaten. Yeah.
Six Premier League wins in a row. And then you could throw in
Yeah.
the Bournemouth one, and that's in all competitions. We're unbeaten since we lost to Liverpool in late August. So there you go.
13, 14, 15. Actually, the last time you were even beating this season was against Liverpool.
Yeah. They haven't lost a game since August
Like that
31st.
since August. Like Steve
September,
McCullough,
November,
can you see?
December. That's 3 months. Yeah.
Man, that's 3 months since you last lost a game, and that's against Liverpool. See, Steve, I really do think you better start taking this title challenge that is being mounted by Newcastle and Eddie Howe very, very
Don't you think
seriously.
that would be
You guys
disrespectful
are
to
title challenges, whether you like it or not.
Don't you
It's
think that's
beginning to show.
disrespectful to Arsenal though?
No.
No?
Just leave
Okay.
Arsenal out
All
of
right.
this. Leave
All right.
Arsenal out of this.
All right.
I'm talking of Newcastle as a team. You guys here are putting teams on spliff in the first half, destroying these teams, making a public show of them. Like it's so freaking easy, you guys, to just cut through teams, and these teams just bend over for you guys. It's beginning to look like this Manchester City Square kind of like boogie team. Like you just come into Newcastle or you're playing against Newcastle and you just start shivering. Like these teams can't just get a grip.
Yeah. No, we are.
Like I'm serious, man. These teams can't really get a grip. I looked at Leicester City. They didn't play quite badly in that game that day, but for some reason, you guys just had enough quality up front to just finish that game in the first half.
Yeah.
And the ease at which Miguel Almiron was just
Oh, that
making run.
second goal was tremendous.
Oh my God.
Ridiculous.
the way Miguel Almiron was just so free, the freedom in which he had to just run around that Leicester defense, make a public show of them, was just immaculate. Like, bro, don't you think Miguel Almiron might be having a very, very good run up for that Golden Boot this season? Apart from, of
Good.
course, if I go Manchester City, City's.
Good.
But apart from Ivan Drago, that's Haaland. Don't you see Miggy coming up as a runner up
Like
for that?
third place or something? Yeah, it's possible. I
Even
don't see why
second
not.
place, man, because the way he's scoring goals.
Nobody's catching up to Haaland. Haaland's got that in the bag because I think
Yeah,
he's
he's got that in the bag, right? Yeah.
He's got 20. So, maybe Mickey could get podium on that. A podium finish. That would be
Podium finish, right?
Yeah, that's second
See,
or third. So
at the rate he's going, at least third. At least third. Bro, brother is scoring goals from all angles, man.
Yeah.
And the way, even the way that goal went, man, he was just dribbling, and just, I don't know, but last season, I didn't really see this from Miguel Almiron. Like, what happened?
I didn't either.
What did Eddie Howe tweak in this guy to make him just this complete player that he is right now, Steve?
What I think here's what I forget who said it, but I heard this somewhere. I think it was actually Don Hutchinson said it. Yeah,
Okay.
when we bought Miggy Almiron, that was under Rafa Benitez. So what kind of system does he play? Defensive, track back. Steve Bruce, same thing. Defense, track back. Now, Eddie Howe has Kieran Trippier to play defense. Trippier actually there in games. He yells at Miggy, go forward. Get your energy up front. That's the big difference for me because he does not have sole responsibility of tracking back and exerting energy on defense and also positionally to attack. Eddie Howe wants this guy to score goals, not to track back. Yes, he wants him to track back a little bit, but he wants the main focus of Miggy Almiron on the field to attack, to score goals. That's the big difference.
Score goals.
And also, he just needed a guy to believe in him. He needed to. So that's been the difference for me. And I also think Kieran Trippier's made a massive difference. Him and Bruno Guimaraes have had a wonderful chemistry. That triangle have been responsible for many, many, many goals and assists this season. And who got the assist on the goal on Monday for Miggy's goal? Guimaraes, Bruno.
Guimaraes.
So that for me is the big difference. To summarize it short and sweet, Eddie Howe wants Miggy Almiron to score goals and assist and be a an attacking player, not a defensive one. That's the difference for me.
The way he's scoring, like you could actually convert him to a number 9. You can convert him to a number 9, like as a lone striker. He could just rather than just being a winger, he could just be that number 9 guy up front, man.
Or he could play as a second striker off Callum Wilson if needed.
Yeah, off Callum Wilson. Yeah,
I wanted to try a 4-4-2 or something.
Do you see any way back for Isaac coming back from injury?
Of course.
How? Where would he play?
Isak off the left.
Bro, see, Wood scored. I don't know if you're oblivious of the fact. Wood actually scored the first goal.
No, Chris Wood scored the penalty.
Yeah. Joe Linton also has been scoring goals this season. See, man, I think Eddie Howe would actually be having a headache when Isaac comes back. I'm
a good headache, by the way. A big
one and a good one to have, actually.
Would rather have that than be like, who am I going to play up front? In terms of like everyone sucks compared to anyone I put on the pitch is most likely going to score. So it's a good problem to have. That's what Man City have, right? Man City have this problem. We don't have it quite yet because we don't have those kind of players. those echelon of players, right?
Of players, right? Yeah.
I mean, Guardiola has Foden to pick from, Mahrez, used to have
Mm,
Sterling, used to have
mm,
Sane, used to have
mm,
Gabriel Jesus.
mm-hmm.
Um, those Sergio Aguero used to have all those guys in one team.
In one
And
team, right?
also, Grealish also. I mean, so this guy has so many fucking options, so many different. It's a headache, but it's one you want to have as a manager
Is
because
one you want to have in your
pretty much
team, right?
pretty much, no one, no one is unproductive on that team, and that is what's happening at Newcastle.
Mm.
Eddie Howe has a good problem to have. When he
Yeah.
comes back healthy, he's gonna have to earn back his place. That's how
He's
I.
gonna have to. Yeah. Before he came down to the team, it came with lots of. Okay, not the biggest type of reputation, coming down to Newcastle, but he's a big player, kinda. He's in that bracket, right? So you expect someone in Isaac's mode and stature to come into Newcastle, having a shirt down there and just play there week in, week out. But right now, with what's going on in in you guys' team, I completely see something different, man. Something different is coming because if Callum Wilson, I don't know, it's a good headache to have, man. It's
Yeah,
a good headache to have. And Joe
absolutely.
Linton, only
A
God
monster.
knows what has come over that guy.
He's a
How
monster.
can you appraise Joe Linton this season, man? Another goal scored for Newcastle this past week. What
He's
can you say
unreal.
about Joe Linton?
He's fucking unreal, isn't he? He's. It's gonna sound like a joke at first, but the guy is playing like how Patrick Vieira did. Not in terms of that's how good he is, but the role. Like
The role, yeah.
the rough riding, no nonsense midfielder that just doesn't fuck around. Does not fuck around one bit.
But again, is he playing as a midfielder in this Newcastle team?
Yeah, and he can
Because
also play off the
he's
left.
getting in at the top of all these goals.
Yeah.
I do think he's part of your strike force.
No,
To
but
be
he
very
plays off the
sincere with
left.
you,
He plays off the left wing.
Eddie Howe plays a 4-3-3
Yeah.
mode. Yeah, the front three is Joe Linton, Wood, and of course Miguel Almiron.
Yeah.
So
the Leicester. Yeah.
yeah, actually, and again, Joe Willock was moved a little bit backwards, a little bit
Yeah.
a little bit backwards in a midfield trio
Right.
with Guimaraes and of course Willock and Longstaff forming that midfield trio. But you know what? Yeah, when you look on paper, when you look at that Leicester midfield, Tillman, Sumare, Dishbury, Burns. When you look at that midfield, you would actually say, you know what? Yeah, I really think that this midfield would actually cause problems for Joe Willock, Guimaraes, and Longstaff. But that was just the complete opposite that happened that day. Because I don't think you really have big names in your midfield, but they're just really, I don't know. Is it that they're playing more than what their name pretends to be?
Wait, what? Sorry?
Like, I really do think that Newcastle, their midfield, you guys are really playing in a way that portends that your players are actually playing more than what their name and status in the league
I mean, Guimaraes
portends to be.
was a player that arguably, could be. He's a top
Yeah,
6 player.
but come on, Longstaff, Wheeler.
I know. They're
couldn't
playing.
possibly-
Joe Linton is done extremely well. Increased his profile compared to what we've seen of him in the past under Steve Bruce and whatnot. So yeah, it's incredible, and that's exactly what a good manager does. He's not only a good manager, coaching wise, he's unbelievable. He's absolutely unbelievable because that's what a good coach does. When you get more out of the players than what the name on their shirt on the back of their shirt suggests that they're able to.
That they're able to.
That's what a coach. That's what every coach wants, or every
Right?
manager wants to do. They want to
Yeah.
coach the players to levels that they've never seen because they can spot things in their game. Oh wow, Joe Linton, you're extremely good. I bet you'd be a great midfielder. What do you mean, boss? I got the 9 on my back. No. I want you to play in the midfield because what you do as a number 9 traditionally is not what I see in a number 9. That's what I want my midfielders to do. You used to play in left midfield, right? At Hoffenheim, yeah? Well, yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Let's try it out then. And it's been wonderful ever since. So
it's been wonderful. And again, Joe Linton is playing with a smile on his face.
Yeah.
Formerly, he was just, he's just this guy that used to, a tough face, just running around the field, trying to get gameplay and, trying to get games in Newcastle. Now he's playing with a smile on his face.
Yeah.
And that's what you want your players to be doing, playing with a smile on their face.
Yeah. Everyone is. It's just happy times at Newcastle.
It's happy times. It's happy times.
So,
it's happy time.
And that's the thing. When you enjoy what you do, there's not a better feeling on earth. And that's the other thing that I don't think these guys view it as pressure. I think they view it as we're out here to do a job. Yeah,
to do a job, right?
This is it. We're having fun. The fans are providing every single ounce of support and making it just so, fantastic to be in the city and whatnot.
True. And you know what, Steve McCullough?
Yeah.
You guys are not just winning in St. James Park, but just this past week's match, you guys went to Leicester City to get
King
this
Power.
win. See, what's the significance of going away, bro? This is huge, man. What is the significance of going away to a place like Leicester? Leicester is a horrible place to go to. Normally, on paper, going to Leicester City is not just that place you go to and sing Kumbaya and just get the point, It's a place you have to go to and grind those points. It's a wild place to go to. Okay, it might be nothing like St. James Park. It might be nothing like the Emirates
over the
Stadium,
years, they've made that place tricky to play. Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly.
Against case in point, they held Man City. They held Man City to 1-0, and it took about 70 or 60 minutes. Remember that De Bruyne free kick?
Yeah, the De Bruyne free kick.
No, it took Man City 60 odd minutes to score, and it took a free kick from one of the best the Premier League has ever seen. And then Man United again struggled, but still won. That we took the piss out of Leicester. We took the piss out of it. The game was over within 40 minutes. It was over. Like, not many teams do that. You're right. You're absolutely right on that.
Not many teams do that. So for you to go to Leicester and get those points, man, it's becoming a habit. And if Newcastle are having a fortress down there at St. James Park, and you're going out to all these places and not really grinding out result, but going to a place like Leicester, beating them and mauling them 3-0, and this is becoming a habit, man. That's championship stuff, man. That's league title winning stuff.
Not championship, because that's a division. You talk Premier
I'm talking of championship. I'm talking of championship, like, of course.
No, I know what you mean.
Winning mentality, right?
I was just messing.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, you're correct. You're spot on. When it becomes a habit of winning, when your supporters and when the manager expects to win every game, that's how that's one of the things you can point to and be like, all right, so then we're title challengers, right? You know what I mean? So
yeah, exactly. And you know what? Yeah, Newcastle this season is the best in as much as 15-16 games this season. Newcastle is the best team defensively in the league this season, at least this year. You guys have played
calendar year, just to quickly. calendar year, we've conceded only Man City and Liverpool have conceded less goals than us calendar year.
Probably.
So we have the third best defensive record in 2022.
In 2022. Okay, but I'm just talking of this season
Yeah.
alone. In as much as 16 games, Steve McCullough, you guys have just conceded 11 goals. Now, that's huge. And apart from your defensive acumen and your defensive progression this season, you guys are also putting up those goals, and you guys have raked up an enormous 32 goals this season, Steve McCullough. That's huge. That is, see, yeah, that goal tally is better than Manchester United's goal tally this season. It's better than Liverpool's tally this season. It's just four shy of Arsenal's tally this season, and third best to Manchester City's goal tally this season. That's huge. So in all ramifications of your gameplay, defensively, Steve McCullough, you guys are the best in the league. In terms of scoring goals this season, you're third best from you're second best, sorry, from Manchester City, which means that you're the third best in scoring goals this season, beating Liverpool, beating Chelsea Football Club.
Yeah, 1-0.
Bro. Yeah. Beating Chelsea Football Club. And again, having that 32 goal margin. What would you say about Eddie Howe's handling of the team? Not just in terms of how you people play or how he arranges the players to play, or the lineup in terms of putting Joe Linton in his spot, allowing Miggy play through that wings and still scoring goals. That's good technical stuff.
Yeah.
But what would you say about Eddie Howe being a defensive coach also? Because mind you, in as much as you guys are scoring goals, you're not leaking in defense. So that's a whole new different dimension from Eddie Howe. So what do you say to that, Steve McCullough, before going to Arsenal and other stuff?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. The thing I'll say about that is Eddie Howe once when Bournemouth got relegated about 3 years ago, about 3 seasons ago, he took some time out of the game to mentally recover because he is very, very there's a deep emotional connection to Bournemouth for obvious reasons. So he had to take some time. That's why he didn't take the Celtic job, because he was he still needed time to recover. He also wanted to spend more time with his family as well. He also, what he did was he took time to go to Atletico Madrid, learn under Simeone, see how the culture there looks. He also went to some rugby clubs as well, just to see how the culture works there. So he took a lot of time. He took a lot of time after Bournemouth, after his time with Bournemouth, to really take a look at what he can improve upon, because that's always what he wants to do. He is so hard on himself compared to others. He's very, very hard on himself. And his standards are really, really high. And that's the other thing that I think he's done splendid on, is that he sets such high standards for him and the performances and whatnot, and we're meeting them. That's the thing that's crazy. And then if we're talking defensively, like I said, he went to Atletico Madrid to look at what Simeone was doing. He really took time to look around and see where he can improve upon, and you see it in the results. So that's to answer your question, how we're doing so well defensively and offensively, because he took time after Bournemouth to become a better man.
To become a better person. Exactly.
Yeah.
Because
he hasn't looked back since. So
he's a better manager. I used to look at Eddie Howe as this type of manager that, I just look at him like this kind of guy that, of course, when you're coaching Bournemouth, of course, it's not a big team in the Premiership.
But he did big things with them. He did big things with them, and that was crazy. I mean, I'm saying I'm saying big things. I mean, they finished 9th place in the Premier League.
In the Premier League, yeah.
Considering, and if you look at how much they spent, is peanuts.
Peanuts,
it's
right?
peanuts. When was the last time Everton finished 9th place? And look how much money they have wasted.
They've wasted
over the years.
in that team.
So that's what I mean when I say Eddie Howe did splendid with Bournemouth. He kept them in the Premier League for 5 seasons.
For 5 seasons. See, guys in the chat, everyone in the chat, yeah. This is Gunners and Magz, yeah. After this show, I'll be having the first episode of Manx and Guns, episode 1, which is the Manchester City rivalry. I'll be invoking that rivalry come today, episode 1, me and Onome Soldier. And see, Steve McCullough, you're welcome to that show. You'll be a special guest in that show. It's just 1 hour just before the before the Liverpool game starts. So you'll be coming and joining us on that show. It's episode 1. It will be a big one, so it will be a nice way to come join us in episode 1 of that show. But you know what? Yeah, I will go through this chat that we have here.
Yeah, Josh.
We have lots of big people coming here. The sports capital. You two need to worry about my team.
The team that isn't spending a penny in January. That's looking at the loan market exclusively.
Sports capital. Are you serious?
Let's talk.
Scared of Manchester United.
Let's talk briefly about Man United. I'm just going to give my 2 cents on it because there are pros and cons to this thing, right? I think Man United's first 11 is actually really good. I think the manager so far is really damn good. Squad depth, though. You know who Casemiro's replacement is? It's a certain Scotsman that's not very good.
Very good, right?
McTominay. So the drop off. Yes.
Yeah.
The drop off from Casemiro to McTominay is like I can't even.
It's 1,000x. It's 1,000x.
Same thing with Eriksen and Fred. Complete drop off. Martial injury prone. Rashford, he's actually been really good. So I'll give you that. Jadon Sancho's had his problems. They're not spending a penny in January. Why should I? I'm sorry. Their first 11 deserves respect, but the problem is with the schedule and with all the competitions Man United are going to be involved in. I'm sorry, but the squad depth ain't there. It's just not. The
squad depth is shit.
It's terrible, and they're not going to improve upon that. So Newcastle are going to improve upon their squad depth in January. I know that for a fact.
You know what? We still have to talk about that, man. Because if you guys are performing so well, mostly with your strikers,
stronger. We're only going to strengthen.
But again, do you think you guys are going to strengthen?
Yes.
Because
I think he froze.
Modric. There's no.
You good, Tony?
Injury. For me, that's what I'm thinking right now. There's no space for that. So for you guys to go into the market and bring in another striker, I don't really think that's gonna work. Of course, that striker might have to sit on the bench.
Yeah, but guess what? When we need to rotate midweek, that's where we're gonna have it. And then you know how injury prone Callum Wilson is.
Yeah.
So then if we got the hypothetical striker, there you go. If Alan Saint-Maximin is not performing, Isak can slot in. Or worst case scenario, we've won games with Jacob Murphy off the left because he will do a job. He's not an amazing footballer by any means, but if you give him a tactical job to do, he will perform. So for me, we are going to strengthen in January because let's not forget the last time Newcastle were in this kind of position, 2011-12. This shirt right here with a certain Demba Ba. Papi Cisse.
Papi Cisse. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So, and what did we do that January window? Nothing. And we didn't get top 4. So for me, the owners are going to strike when the iron's hot. If there's a chance to make a serious upgrade, and also don't forget John Joe Shelby. Actually, it looks like he's set he has an injury setback, so he'll be out for another
Yeah.
6 games, I believe.
Mm.
So we might choose to buy a midfield,
A
another midfield
midfield. Yeah,
option.
midfielder. Yeah,
Remember,
exactly.
this season
That
with
should
the
be on the
World Cup,
cards, definitely.
this season with the World Cup, it's going to
Mm.
be 3 games every single week until May. And then if you're Man United, you're going to have to shove 4 in it sometimes because Europa League as well. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
So you
Yeah,
guys,
exactly.
if we want to go deep in the Carabao Cup, maybe
Mm.
challenge for a Premier League title, top 4, absolutely, and then FA Cup run.
Hmm.
You're gonna need a strong squad, and we can still strengthen ours, I believe. So
Yeah. See, yeah, we'll come back to the league
yeah,
table because you guys are in a funny position in this league table. But I have to read this comment.
yeah,
Joshua Bernard, of course, is your friend.
yes.
He says, "We weren't beaten by Liverpool, we were robbed." Okay. Craig AFC, big ups to you. Craig AFC says, "Yeah, Tony and Steven, big ups. I'm more worried about Newcastle than Man City. I can't lie." See, trust me, Craig AFC, man. I, I'm not saying I'm scared of Newcastle because I'm relishing the prospect of actually playing them on the 3rd of January. It's next week. It's big, it's huge. So I want it to happen. I want it to happen. So let's see what's going to happen. Once we play that match, I would know Newcastle's level because all these bozo teams they've been beating, they look like zombies. In the first half, a team just comes, destroys you, and at least have a goal on their defense mechanism, because Newcastle is just having a field day. No one is actually, probing the defenses. Their midfield is just so steely. Uh, like there's this rock and this barrier in that midfield, and trust me, yeah, I don't really look at Joe Linton, Wilson, Guimaraes, and Longstaff as the best midfield pairing in the league. I genuinely still think that there's still cracks in that
But
team. So
we're performing like one of them. That's the
yeah,
thing.
yeah. In terms of
On paper,
performance,
you're
I
saying on
give that to
paper.
you, but I
You're
don't
saying
think
on
I
paper.
don't think it's the best midfield in the league.
On paper, it isn't. Absolutely
Yeah,
not.
on paper it isn't. So I'm still thinking. I want to see. I want to see a team with cojones and lots of balls go face to face. It's true, man, because all these teams, they lack cojones, they lack balls. All these teams are just, I don't know. When they face Newcastle,
They're
when they face.
defeated before they even step on the pitch or they enter the
Exactly. These
stadium.
teams are logically scared of Newcastle. They're scared of Man City. But when they come to Arsenal, they want to play football. They want to play soccer. They want to kick. They want to they want to attack Arsenal. They want to have a go at our defense mechanism. But with this Newcastle United and Manchester City, these teams don't want to play. They're all quick. You know, at the mention of their name. So let's see what's going to happen when you guys play against Arsenal. I think that'll be a very, very big test for you guys, Steve. I don't know how you guys are going to cope with that, but I really do think that you guys are in for a big one.
I think.
And again, your test is coming as quickly as on the 31st. That's on New Year's Eve with Leeds. I really do think that Leeds wants to bounce back from that disgraceful loss.
Yeah.
Yeah, against City. I know they want to bounce back. I know they want to come back. Of course, it's going to be a Herculean task because it's a tall one to go into St. James Park. To go there and go get a result in St. James Park. It's one of the most vociferous places to actually go to grind that result. But come on, it's Leeds. They can have a go at you guys. I just want a team that can have the balls to face a defense, go
Yeah.
in, cut deep, make those runs. Because all these teams are not making Newcastle. That's what I'm thinking, and that's why your defense this season has been very good. You guys beat teams with your midfield and your strikers. Your wing backs are cool. Your strikers are doing quite well. Joe Linton, just look at him. Miguel Almiron putting these teams on toast. You
Aye.
guys are creating genuine problems for these teams, Steve
Yeah,
McCullough.
absolutely. I mean, we've been sensational, and by the way, that are I'm looking forward to that. Not only because I know that's a free hit, right? If Newcastle go to
Mm,
the Emirates and lose, there's no disgrace in that. That's all I've ever known. I've never
mm.
seen Newcastle score a goal at the Emirates. By the way, we last time we scored a goal was 2014. 2014.
2014,
You
right?
guys have won. You guys have won every single match with a clean
Hmm.
sheet and a goal since then. So again, I'm not expecting to win that game or even score a goal.
See,
Just
man, you don't need to be humble about it. I know it's gonna be a tough one. I know deep in your mind you have
do
this
you think
feeling
we'll
like
score a
we,
goal? You
we
think we'll
can beat
score a goal?
Arsenal. I know you have it in your mind, but don't worry. We'll handle that. We'll handle that when you
Yeah.
guys come to town. But you know what? Yeah, Steve, let's go into this chat because, of course, lots of people. Sebastian Cheesy Tube is there too. He says, "Hey, Tony, you're back." See, Joshua Bernard, who's your friend, says, "We weren't beaten by Liverpool. We were robbed." Okay, if you say so, Joshua. Craig AFC, Tony, Stephen, big ups. I'm more worried about Newcastle than Man City. I can't lie. And it
Yeah.
says here also, Craig AFC, big ups to you, my brother. He says, Almiron is on fire. He's
Yeah.
on fire, man. He's on fire. And of course, Arsenal Punk says here, laughing out loud. Cheesy Tube, my girl. She
What's up,
says, yeah,
Steve?
hey, Tony, you're back. Yes, I'm back, Cheesy Tube. Big ups to you. And look at AFC, my brother says, yeah, big ups. Yeah, look at AFC, man. Big ups to you. Look at when are you coming to the show, man? It'd be nice to have you. Look at AFC says, yeah, you okay? Yes, I'm
You
okay,
good?
buddy. Steven is also good. We
Fuck
just
yeah.
thank God, we're leaving. We're okay. Steve is doing well. I'm okay. It's
Yeah.
it's all good. He
Absolutely.
says, yeah, I'm kind of confident in a way. I'm nervous tomorrow. We can't afford to lose. Steve McCullough, I know you will have something to say about Arsenal versus Brighton. I'll come down to you with that, but let's just see what these guys are saying here. Look at AFC says here, I really got bad feeling tomorrow. Let's see.
Mm.
look, look at
Hey,
you always having a
Brighton.
bad feeling. Amy Baba says here, Amy Baba, top gunner in the house. Poo, poo, poo. Amy Baba, he says here, yeah. He says, yeah, Newcastle is doing very well this season. See,
Absolutely.
yeah, anyone that doesn't see the threat of Newcastle this season, you're smoking bush.
They're about to get blindsided whenever we
True,
play
man.
them. Never,
Anyone,
whenever
anybody.
club you support and you ain't seeing the threat of Newcastle,
It's
you're
true.
you're gonna get
Anyone that doesn't see what Newcastle is doing this
you'll get
season, you
blindsided.
are
You get
smoking bush.
blindsided
You're
unless you're
smoking bush.
unless you're Manchester City, which by the way we've already played you guys and we played you real fucking good.
Of course.
Then you don't you have to recognize the threat in Newcastle.
You have to recognize that threat. I'm sorry, man. Steve is a little bit humble about it right now, but I think
Well,
maybe
because I'm letting the players
when you
on the
conjure up
field.
some certain wins, you might start talking tough because I've been seeing you on
Oh,
shows.
if
Steve
we beat
McCullough, you've been talking
Arsenal,
tough lately,
if we
man.
beat Arsenal, we're title contenders, straight up.
Straight up, right? Good and
Because if we
okay.
can go to a place, if we can think
Mm,
about this, Tony, if you can go to a place and
mm.
score and beat a team that you have not scored a goal against for 8-9 years against a team that is also currently top of the league by some distance over
By
an
some
already
distance, yeah.
dominant force in Manchester City,
Hmm,
why aren't we?
hmm.
Why aren't we?
That,
Title
that's a big
contenders
one. That's a big one.
if we beat you guys. I still think you guys will win that game, but let's
Hmm.
just see. Let's just see.
That's a big one.
Yeah,
Sebastian Talks Football. If you've not subscribed to Sebastian Talk Football, you're on a long
do it.
chain. He's a great guy. He's a Swedish
Yeah,
guy. He talks football. He's a friend to Steve McCullough. He's also my friend too. Go subscribe to that guy. Great guy. Sebastian Talks Football says here, hello, Steve and Tony. Hello, Sebastian. One of these days, you have to come to Gunners and Mags, man. Talk to your friend, Steve McCullough, to come on the show.
absolutely.
Steve owns this show too. So you can talk to him and, let's get a talk. Tony Cloud here. Of course, that's my other channel. It says, yeah, laughing out loud. Andrew Bell. Andrew Bell.
Andy. Hey, remember, he said
Andy.
Andy. Andy.
Andy.
You forget we're Geordies, man. We don't go by no
I,
proper shit. Just call
I
us.
know. I
It's
know.
not Steven. It's Steve. It's not
It's
Andrew.
Steve.
It's
Okay.
Andy.
Okay. Okay. No problem, man. No problem.
Andy Bell.
Andrew.
You know what he
Andrew.
should do? He should change it. He should change his name.
Yeah, he should
on
change
that-
it. I think that. I
Because
think that's
that's what
why.
you do. That's what you do, and that's what every YouTuber does. They read the name off the thing.
They're
Right?
in exactly. So you're not a YouTuber, right?
I'll go.
The
Yeah.
way
I'll
you're
go.
talking to, the way you're saying it, like that's what you YouTubers do. You're like talking as if you're like Logan Paul or something, brother. Come on, man. Steve McCall, see, yeah, you know what? Yeah, Newcastle is doing a bit this season. I can't wait to see Steve McCall when he comes, off to back-to-back losses. And mind you, you know what, Steve?
Oh, I won't show up. I ain't no. I'm
You know
not.
what? Yeah, we have to talk about injuries. We have to talk about injuries and then get into that Arsenal game. But you know what? Yeah, Andrew says, yeah, evening all. Big ups to you, Andy. Big up to you, my brother. And of course, wishing your family and your family, happy New Year coming up. BX Gooner in the house. Poo, 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 poo. 3 gunshots for BX Gooner, my guy. Steve, BX Gunner comes to your show to support you. You know that, right?
What's up?
I said BX Gunner comes to your show to
Yes,
support
he
you,
does.
right?
He does.
Yeah, so
Love
he's
me-
a very
love
very
me,
big
BX
member.
Gunner.
Yeah. So shout out to BX Gunner 81. Big ups to you. I knew you had a lovely Christmas, and hopefully you have a very great New Year coming up for you, my big brother BX Gunner. It's one love for you. He says, yeah, what's good, everyone? Man, it's good. Newcastle won. They beat Leicester 3-0. outside Newcastle, outside St. James Park. It's a big one, and that's what Steve McCullough is mounting off here about. And of course, Amy Baba says, yeah, I'm worried about Man City more than Newcastle. Of course, Newcastle is performing well this season. See, man, I'm worried about 2 of them, man, because for some reason, man, Newcastle this season, man, I don't know. There's just this. There's just this. There's this thing about Newcastle that I don't know. There's this thing about them. This grit.
Yeah.
This stubbornness. This I don't know.
You
This
can't
new
put.
found.
I know what you're saying. It's
I
something
can't
you
put
can't. You can't quite put your finger on it. You can't.
on it.
Quite,
Yeah,
but it's on the tip of your tongue. But you just don't.
something like
Yeah.
that. You
Yeah.
just get. You can
Yeah.
just get it off. So
And you know what? That's why
Mm.
you could be scared, bro. The fear of the unknown. Human
the fear of
psychology.
the
at its
unknown. Yeah,
basic.
exactly.
Yeah. You don't know. You just don't know how we're doing the things that we're doing. It's crazy. I can explain it, but
Keeps you on your
it still
toes.
doesn't make any sense, if you know what I'm saying, because we were a relegation side last year, and now we're battling for Champions
And
League.
now you're back. See, man, that's just how life
No, it
is.
don't make sense. It don't make sense.
Exactly. You were battling to stay in the league last season.
You
And
know
then
the
this
last
season,
team that did that? Leicester City.
Leicester City.
The last time that this is the last
Yeah.
time that a team went from relegation to top 4, possibly even
Top
title
4.
challengers. Madness. Absolute
That's
madness.
big. That's big.
Oh.
Jordan Heyman, LFC, says, yeah, hey, Steve. Jordan, big ups to you, Jordan. Big ups to you. He says, hey, Steven again. And of course, Amy Baba says, yeah, I'm looking forward to Arsenal versus Newcastle game. A big test for Newcastle. I think Newcastle will crush Leeds. Oh my God. I don't see Leeds posing a problem to Newcastle. And Chelsea Dan is in the chat. Chelsea Dan will have a lot to say about Newcastle. But see, yeah, look into this, Steve McCullough. Look into this comment by Amy Baba and dissect it.
What's up?
Look into this comment by Amy Baba and dissect it.
I mean, to be fair, the last few games I've been predicting close, gritty Newcastle wins, and what do? They go and destroy whoever the fuck they're playing. Besides Chelsea. I think Chelsea I said 2-0, and it was only a 1-0. So, but even then, they're meeting my expectations of winning. Yeah, it's crazy. Like I said,
It's crazy, right?
I think I said we'd barely beat Villa. We destroyed them 4-0. Went away to Fulham. I was like, you know what? They fucking drew with Liverpool. They look pretty goddamn good at home. We destroyed them 4-0. So, I mean, every time I think I know, every time I go into these games, I try to offer the opponent some respect and be like, we'll play them tough. And then we just go destroy them. Leicester, I thought that was going to be a 2-1 win. And then we just go and just beat the brakes off them 3-0.
Beat the brakes off them, man. 3-0. It's a mauling destruction.
So maybe we'll beat Leeds 3-0. That'll be my prediction. I'll go 3-0.
I actually think that Leeds game will be a very tough one because they want to bounce back from that loss against Man City. I think it was a morally and see, it was a bad loss against Man City because I just felt that they played quite well a bit and they just lost their way. They forgot how to defend. They forgot how to play. They forgot how to create anything. And that has been the problem with these teams when they're facing teams like Newcastle and Man City this season. They quake at defeat. They just crumble. They throw away defending. They throw away midfield balance. They throw away all this, all these tactics and technicalities of the game. They just throw it out the window, and they just want to sit back and soak up all this pressure from these teams, and it makes it just not worth watching, man. They're just like bozos when they play like that. Chelsea Dan says, Tony, big up, bro, buddy, bro. Yeah, big ups Chelsea Dan. He says, Tony C, come support your channel. But where was you on mine?
Well, Tony was just on holiday. Come on, Dan, give this man some slack.
Chelsea Dan, I was on holiday, man. I've not been around.
He's going to Germany.
I went to Germany, and I went to England and Germany. So I just spent only maybe some hours in London, and then went to Germany too. So I've not been around for some time. So Chelsea Dan, of course I support you, man. I support you, bro. He says also you text me the other day on WhatsApp saying someone wanna but never told me. Sorry. It was Anthony. It was Anthony. Anthony said that someone wanted to do a stream. So of course I actually sent them your name, but I don't know if they contacted you, so I don't know about that. Andrew Bell, big up, bro. Yes, Steve is also in the chat. He says for sure, Dan. After the show, I will. Okay, you guys are doing your own stuff. Big up, Steve, bro. Big up to Chelsea, brother. I'm a Liverpool fan, Steve.
Yeah.
Do you know this Jordan guy?
Yeah, I know Jordan Hyman. Yeah, he's on Twitter, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah,
okay.
Jordan, my guy, what's good? What's going on?
Breaking news: Chelsea FC signed Enzo Fernandez.
Oh my God, Dan is Mr. Gullible. You can tell that the sky is purple, and he'd be like, "Oh, guys, I heard the sky is purple."
Well, Chelsea Dan, you guys are not in. See, Chelsea Dan, you're not even supposed to be in the charts, man. You guys are not even top 4 this season. You're not even top. You guys are not top 5 at all, bro. Come on, man. Stephen McCarthy.
You there, Tony?
I'm back.
Oh, you froze. Oh, okay.
No.
All right.
Yeah, I'm back now. Yeah. BX Gunner without breaking the bank. Okay. Leeds want to bounce back. I get that. However, do they have the coyotes? The cojones.
That's true, Tony.
To match Newcastle.
You said that Leeds didn't have the cojones against Man City on Wednesday. Am I wrong?
Yeah, they didn't. They didn't, bro.
So,
to you, don't they look like zombies?
The first half
Listen-
they looked good. First half they looked all right, but then late in that first half they conceded, and then from that point on they weren't that great.
From that point on, they just true defensive tactics.
Yeah.
They just threw it off, opened everywhere, opened up the floodgates, allowed Ivan Drago, to just go there and score goals. And bro, I don't know, man. I'm tired of these teams, man. I think Arsenal will have to do the job themselves. We have to beat these teams. We have to beat Newcastle and we have to beat Man City on our own. See, Arsenal's game. Come on, man, against West Ham. What what did you think about that game, Steve McCullough?
Thought it was pretty routine, to be honest. Well, after the Ben Rama goal.
So are you now saying West Ham is an easy team to beat now? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Because I thought they didn't defend very well. I thought they were just poor generally. But I think you guys it was routine and nice for you guys to also see Nketiah scoring. That's gonna help his confidence.
Man, did you see that? Did you see that Eddie Nketiah goal?
Nice goal.
I'll be talking more about this on the next show coming up at 7 p.m. UK time, and that's the Manx and Gunners Premier League show, War Room. So me and Onome Soji are going to be in a war room, and be warring with each other. Of course, me and Steve.
Oh, you're in.
Me and Steve are still friends. But me and Onome, no, we're not going to be friends. We're going to war today, just before that Liverpool game. It starts from 7 to 8 p.m. So, yeah.
Oh, you're in such a warlike mood. Am I talking with fucking...
Man, it's war, man.
Oh, am I talking with
fucking
Taylor here?
Bro, you guys are in third. 7 points away from Arsenal. See, if you guys, for some reason, if you guys beat us now, it's just 4 points, man. That's just a game and a draw, and you guys are top of the league. So come on, man. This is huge. It's big. It's war, man. It has to be a warfare, man.
That means you're taking us seriously.
See, man. It's only a zombie and a bozo that won't take you guys seriously. I'm tired of all these guys in mainstream, podcast everywhere and all these YouTubers that don't take, because I know you've been on a show with Igal. For some reason, I don't know. Igal has come to the show before. Enough respect to him. But I don't think he takes Newcastle very seriously.
You know why? You know why? It's because people don't watch every single Newcastle game like I do.
Then they're gullible. I watch Newcastle games. I see Newcastle games.
Yeah.
I actually think that
If
Newcastle
people watch us more instead of just looking at the match report, they would. That you need to actually see what's going on with your eyes.
Hi guys. First of all, hope everyone had a good Christmas.
Yeah, Christmas was good.
Yeah.
I just came back yesterday. I traveled.
Well, as long as you're safe travels, man.
Yeah. I'm back now, man. So that's why the show had to go on. Of course, I'm here with Steve, so of course it's all good.
Ben's going to be out of the room in a couple of minutes, mate. So don't worry.
Yeah, sure. See, Andy, for some reason, you guys went into Leicester City, destroyed them. You guys are living destruction at your wake everywhere you guys go to this season. What do you have to say about that game against Leicester City?
First of all, I wouldn't mind hearing you say that again. It's not very often I've heard that. Like I've said before, it's. I think someone said it before. It's foreign territory for Newcastle.
Yep.
And it clearly is. One thing we are going to have to look at is, I think Steve touched on it earlier, the few minutes I've heard. If we're not going to improve the first team, we need to improve the squad. Shelby's going to be a miss, regardless of how much he's played or not played this season. He's going to be a miss. He keeps ticking when he comes in games. And Isaac, although we've been told that we're going to see him in January, is that going to be beginning? Is that going to be the end? We get a win against Leeds. I think we can go into that Arsenal game just making sure we don't lose.
Yeah.
To keep pace for top four. Not that I think Eddie will do that. I think Eddie will have a go at his. But I think we've proven the last 12 months we can't beat his. He's a different side this season. Don't get us wrong. The next couple of weeks are going to be really, really.
Andy, I really do think that you're a little bit very, very humble with with Newcastle's chances against Arsenal. And you know what? Yeah, Eddie Howe this season is that kind of manager. Okay, the way he's thrived this season, it's by this gritty move, this stubborn move to actually make sure that his teams actually go on an offensive display. Wherever you guys go this season. Of course, you saw.
I can't remember a time, Tony, that Arsenal fans have been scared of Newcastle United. I mean, that's even when we were up there in the early 2000s, late 90s. You would never really hear an Arsenal fan going, "We fear Newcastle." So
Yeah,
I mean, it's music in my ears, but it's also I've always been the realist rather than. I do like to see. I'm a glass half full person, but I do like to see that. I don't like to get ahead of myself. If we're still in the top four by 3 or 4 points come mid-January, then I'll because I think once you get 20, 22, 23 games out of the way, you've played every team once at least, and you've also had a couple of other games.
See, but Andy, I still insist. See, there'll be a time we have to go to war. I really wanted to go to war with Steve McCullough, but somehow he kind of like played peace today. But you know what? Yeah, see, at a time, you guys will have to start bigging up your team because I feel like you guys are just too humble about your achievement this season. See, yeah, and Andy, you guys have put in this season alone 32 goals. This season alone, 32 goals. Now that's just behind Arsenal. In the rankings of goals this season, Man City have 46 goals. Arsenal has put in 36 goals. That's huge. Talking about the defensive approach this season, Eddie Howe, somehow, who's not known for his defensive acumen, has gotten this Newcastle team, to defend. And that's very key in any Premiership winning title team. Yeah. You know what? Yeah, you guys are the best team defensively this season, even more better than Manchester City this season. This season, you guys have just conceded 11 goals. Yeah. See, yeah, Andy, I don't know what you're saying. You're too humble about this.
One thing I will say, Tony,
I really do think that teams have to be a little bit scared, not to shiver and pander, and just capsize or collapse. But you have to respect Newcastle United.
Yeah, it's always key. But one thing I will say is Chelsea's done one like it. But when I watched Chelsea the other night, I've seen teams that are below them in the league looking better than them at the moment. So the fact that they're looking to spend money, I don't think it's any surprise. Let's be honest. So we have got to look at the opportunity, like you say, Tony. We've got to look at opportunity. Tottenham are doing a Spursy thing. They're a little bit inconsistent.
True.
Man City have got used to deal with as well as ourselves. So, and then Liverpool are going to be. They'll come. And all we've really got to do is just keep. Even not this form will find us in the top four. Even if we go on a. I think we're 17 unbeaten in the league, 16 unbeaten in the league. And when, like Josh rightly said earlier, we weren't beaten by Liverpool, we were robbed. So everything is pointing towards that there's no reason why this form can't continue for Newcastle United. Yeah. The thing, like you said rightly, that surprised me more than anything is the defensive record. It's one thing that I was a little bit skeptical of Eddie Howe. Botman coming in's been a massive part of that, but at the same time, one player doesn't make a defence that different from under Steve Bruce to, you look at the personnel, the only personnel difference theoretically it's centre half is Botman. Yes, okay, you've got Trippier in Target, but Target was there when Bruce was there as well. Was he? Yeah. No, sorry, he wasn't he? No, that's me. I'm wrong there. Sorry, Target
came in January on loan.
Yeah. But we're backline. Okay, we've got Nick Pope there as well. So that's maybe not the best point I've ever made in my life, but I just see that the difference is huge. And it's not just defending at the back line, it's what the midfielders are doing. You put Joe Linton in the three, he's doing the exact same job out on the left. He's such an important that midfield and it bullies teams.
And then the quality of Guimaraes is also
the quality of that guy. It just reeks of I don't know. And at the end of the day, I just saw him playing, against Leicester, and I was like, what was Arsenal thinking? This guy should have come to Arsenal.
Yeah.
What were we thinking? Like he keeps proving match and match and match again. He keeps proving us wrong. Why
His
did
suicide in the Premier
Arsenal
League, he doesn't
go for
stop
this
for.
guy? He keeps
Yeah.
proving everyone like wrong totally about him. You know, he's just that good, and the kind of progression in his game and the kind of a partnership he's building with Joe Linton and also with Wilson at the same time
And
with
Miggy Almiron and
Longstaff.
Trippier on the
Of
right.
course, that connection, it's all there, and you can even see. What do you have to say, Andy? What do you have to say about Miggy's Miggy's goal?
Oh, he froze.
I think he was going to ask about Miggy, wasn't he? So we'll just carry on conversation.
Andy, are you there?
Oh, he's back.
Yeah, we got you. You froze up for a moment, Tony.
Andy. Okay, yeah, I'm back. I'm back. See,
You were
yeah,
asking
Andy, just
Andy for
Andy,
thoughts
just
on
before. Yeah. Just before I go to Steve,
Go on.
Andy, yeah. See, what is this thing with Miguel Almiron? Does he have to score? Does he have to score in every game for Newcastle United? What the hell is going on? And you know what? Yeah, this guy is not just scoring now. He has now added dribbling to his. He is now turned prime Ronaldo to us
I
right
think,
now.
I think the
See
first
what he
thing
did
that
to
you've got to
Leicester.
do,
It's dribbling now. Oh, see, Andy, what do you have to say about this? Mickey is
Everything-
dribbling now.
I think the most important thing that you've got to look at in Miggy is as much as he's been hitting Missy previous regime, you could never fault his work rate. And the reason why that was because his first job in that team was to run backwards, not run forwards. And I said to Steve, about 4 games away from the end of the season next season, you will see Miggy get more goals because the amount of times that he gets the ball out wide, plays the ball into midfield and runs directly between the two centre-halves, so the right back and the centre-half, the amount of goals he's getting from this season just from that, Leicester was direct example. The goal against Fulham is an example, and I think the one against Spurs is perfect. He gets the ball, plays it into centre midfield, and he knows his midfielder's got the quality to find him first time. And it's very hard to defend against because naturally the defender steps up and the ball's in behind him straight away. And I said, Steve, if he can just get a bit of confidence, we might see him as Newcastle's top goal scorer next season because Callum Wilson will get injured. And I can't believe I'm sitting here in almost January, 20 games into the season nearly, and Miggy's, 4th in the Premier League goal scoring shots? I mean, he's getting 9 in.
Shots. It's huge, man. It's
So-
enormous.
But he's contributing in other factors as well. He's still doing the job that we know he can do. That's why we've been brilliant defensively. Trippier has got a player in front of him there that he can shut his eyes at sometimes and look and knows Miggy's covering him.
Yeah, exactly. See, yeah, you know what? Yeah, see, just before we go, Steve, we've not looked into this area with Newcastle this season, and it's in this area of injuries.
Right.
Yeah. What happens when injury creeps into your core? And what I mean by your core, I mean the guys that make your magic happen.
Well,
One way or the other, Miggy's gonna get injured this season. One way or the other. No, one way or the other.
It's possible.
Wait,
And
Tony's hoping he does.
A niggling ankle injury could make him miss 2 games, 3 games, 4 games, even 6. It happens. It's football. Guimaraes, for some reason, this season, I don't know. He's been so
He's been
fit.
out for 1 or 2, Andy, right? Guimaraes?
Joe
I think
Linton,
he's missed 3 games in all, hasn't he?
And I think we won all 3 of them anyways, so.
good and okay. Joe Linton, this season, same thing. These guys are not getting injured. But what happens when your core start getting injured? And it forms a kind of like a reoccurring kind of like thing that will be seen in the league for Newcastle if you guys have these injuries. What buffer do you guys have? Do you think you're ready to move on without your core? Like, what's your plan B without your core? Where do you see you guys what do you see you guys achieving without these injuries or with this injury?
Steve, do you want to
if
go
they
on?
happen?
No, I'll let you take it, Andy. I'll bounce off you. Because you just got in the
Sure, what you're saying there, John. Plan B ultimately is not as good as effective as Plan A. Let's be honest. If you're missing Bruno and Joe Linton, then you've got a problem, because then you've got Longstaff really as a backup, or you're playing someone out of position to cover. I mean, how many times has Joe Linton covered this season for ESM on the left, or he's covered for
Jacob
Ramirez?
Murphy.
Yeah, Jacob Murphy, exactly. I mean, Murphy's fine to bring in off the bench, but you don't really want to be dependent on him week in, week out. If if ASM misses a game and Joe Linton's needed in midfield, you can bring Murphy in for a game, maybe two. You don't want to be doing it week in, week out, because ultimately, eventually, your quality gets found out, and he hasn't got the quality to do what ASM does. As much as ASM's is frustrating every Newcastle fan, he hasn't got the quality that ASM's got.
Yep.
Then you look at the back and you go, right, if Botman gets injured, you've got Burn to go in there. But then Target's missed a lot of games this season, so then you're struggling at left back. You're robbing Peter to pay Paul. We need the likes of a Tielemans coming in to help the numbers. If he's available, he's got 6 months left on his deal, apparently. And I heard on another YouTube channel earlier today that apparently the deal was already almost done in the summer. It was only the 24th hour that Tielemans himself pulled out. Is that something that Newcastle might revisit instead at Madison, or even both? We definitely need numbers, mate. If we're going to challenge us, if we're really going to be looking at winning the league like everyone's saying, then the difference between top four and winning the league is we need squad players. We need them players that are better than the squad players that we have now. It's no good them being the same level. They need to be pushing for the first team places.
See, Steve, you've already heard it from the horse's mouth, right? You guys might not be able to cope with those injuries when they start coming up, when they start popping up from here and there. So, who do you guys have in the horizon in terms of a plan B? If this injury should come up, you don't have the squad depth that Man City, actually have right now.
Of course not. So, we're worlds away from Man City.
Away from that, right? So,
essentially,
what would be your plan B in the transfer window coming up in January?
I mean, me and Andy have talked about this a lot in terms of like who we should go for in January and whatnot. And honestly, whatever me and Andy say, Newcastle usually do that and then do something more. Based off the 3 windows we've had PIF here. Who the hell thought we were going to bring in Alexander Isak for 60-odd million? We didn't expect that at all.
Sam Milner made it, but not very many other people did.
Yeah, that's true. But, I mean, it's just that, and that's the thing why I feel confident. And that's honestly, these injuries couldn't have happened at a better time, because now the ownership can see, okay, we've got some injuries and the squad does need a bit of work if we want to possibly see ourselves as title challengers. That happens. Strike while the iron's hot. If we go and spend, Tony, we can spend up to £800 million over the next 3 years and still be an FFP positive. Kieran Maguire, a financial guy, he's if you look him up on YouTube, you'll see him. He said that about 800 million we have for FFP. So, and we'd still be positive. So, this is this is. I don't even know what to expect. I'll just let the owners blow me away. That's what I'm seeing this as.
You've got to be clever to win this window. They can't just bring players in for the sake of playing, because then you're gonna break up the dynamic of the squad.
But again, have you guys identified players? See, it's a difference when you guys go into that market just to get play. Do you guys have a plan B? Have you identified players that will come into Newcastle and help you guys in your title push?
I think Eddie Howe's hinted at a couple, hasn't he?
But have you guys identified players? Arsenal have identified players. We're going in for Modric. It's already a signed deal, if you ask me. Felix, that one too. We've identified players to come in to help us. Have Newcastle as a team, this goes to both of you, have you guys identified players that you guys would go talk to and bring in January to help your title push?
Yes, I believe Eddie Howe made some comments about Marcus Thuram, the Borussia Mönchengladbach striker, winger, and he can cover the front three basically. He
Yeah.
said, "Oh, I watched him in the World Cup. Yeah, I really enjoyed it, but we're not doing anything around that." So
The problem that we have is we don't have the muscle of, these foreign players. As much as they might know about Newcastle now, they're not going to look at us and go, well, it's an Arsenal. The Arsenal are used and Chelsea and everything over the last 4 years are used to getting these big deals over the line pretty quickly because they do them regularly. We haven't. We've got a new ownership. Only thing that we have is optimism, momentum, and cash to throw at them at the moment.
And a goddamn good league positioning to complement that as well.
Yeah, like I say, optimism within the league position, an opportunity to go and win a cup as well. I mean, we're in the quarterfinals of the cup. So that we have a unique selling point there. There's a project, and I'm sure some players that will get the fizzes going. But top players, like you say in Madrid, we're going to get beaten at times by the Liverpools and the Arsenals and the Man Uniteds because we've got the recent history of winning competitions, Champions League season in, season out. That's something that we're going to have to look to sell to someone, and it's harder to sell it than it is to guarantee it.
But then again, Andy, I'll point to what happened last January. We snatched Bruno Guimaraes off Arsenal, and we were bottom of the league. That's the other thing that I'm extremely optimistic about, is that we took ourselves from nothing to something, and we signed Bruno Guimaraes, a player that would start for every team in this league.
Yeah. Salcedo's one at Brighton that's been touted, and I would be out all over that.
Wait. Let's rewind. No, this is the problem I have with Steve. Yeah,
What's
when he starts mouthing off in a very, very enigmatic way, in a very strange way. See, yeah. How can you? Wait. How can you say that Guimaraes will start in any team?
In the Premier League, because he does.
In any team. Do you think he would start in an Arsenal?
He starts for Liverpool over Jordan Henderson. Do you
think he would start?
You could make an argument he starts
before
for
Thomas Partey, before Granit Xhaka.
I think he's an upgrade over Xhaka.
You think?
I think so. You've already got.
Sorry, I missed that. Who we're comparing here? Sorry.
Xhaka with Guimaraes. I think there's no comparison. I think Xhaka's been brilliant on form, by the way.
You're also looking at potential in Bruno as well. His age.
His age. That's the other thing too, Tony.
See, man, I don't know if he's gonna start. Before.
Okay, well, he would be a regular.
Or Granit Xhaka.
Okay, well, Bruno Guimaraes.
I don't know.
Would Bruno Guimaraes be it? Why were you looking to sign Bruno Guimaraes, Tony? Why were you looking to keep him on the bench?
No,
show him London. That's all.
No.
No, you weren't. Okay, that's all.
Again, Thomas Partey had injury. Thomas Partey had injury concerns at the time when
he still does. Yeah. So he would get significant playing time in your squad.
But again, you cannot. But right? Again, you cannot say he still does because he's been playing this season.
But you just said Partey had injury concerns.
At the time when we were looking for
a midfielder. He's still an injury-prone player. If an injury-prone
he's still an injury-prone player, but this season he's a new player.
Let's be honest.
Injured this season. He's only missed one game this season.
Oh yeah.
Also, we're not looking at Bruno for him to sit on the bench. Let's be honest, Tony. Say it as it is. He was going to get in the team.
Bench. That's what I'm saying. Because when Steve makes this type of statement about he can play or start in any team this season in the Premiership, he start for Arsenal?
Yes, he does.
I think he does.
Wait,
he's just been voted the best player in the Premier League, founder, yeah?
Realistically, for who?
For
anybody?
For Xhaka.
For Xhaka?
Yes,
absolutely.
For Xhaka. Yeah.
Would the way Mikel Arteta likes Xhaka?
I think he would like. I think any manager would like.
It's like I like the wife, but if Kate Beckinsale was to come in, I'm going to change my mind.
It just got personal on Tony Clark under teeth.
If I've got a black eye on the next video, you know what?
It just got personal, man. See, I don't know, but Will it start for
So
Manchester
you would
City?
reject. So you would
No, no,
reject
no,
Bruno
no, no, no.
Guimaraes.
Wait. Will it
All
start
right,
for
all
Manchester
right.
City? Will he
Oh, I
start for
think there's a
Manchester
case
City?
you could make. He could. Yeah.
He'd be part of a rotation in Man City. He might not be
Because-
the number one midfielder.
Man City's unique because they have, again, such insane squad depth. They have
But
straight
again,
up,
Steve,
straight
the
up,
statement
straight
you
up.
made is that
Man
he would
City
start for
has
any
two-
team in the Premiership.
Man
That's
City
what you
has
said.
2 separate starting 11s, including goalkeeper, that is still class, absolutely class
Fact.
players.
True.
Would Bruno
I
Guimaraes?
was thinking something the other day. Sorry to interrupt you, mate. Just before I forget.
Yeah.
Walker did not look happy on that bench for Man City the other night. He ripped the camera off. I think that was an accident, but I really don't think that with the young lad getting in ahead of him, I would honestly, you might laugh at us for this, I'd be throwing a 3-year deal at Kyle Walker and signing him for Newcastle to play in Shaw's position long run in centre half. I think once he loses that yard, he'll change his game slightly and we'll see another type of Kyle Walker. For him to be this good, the attributes that he has at that age, he hasn't lost a yard of pace. I think there's an opportunity to go and get Kyle Walker, and I would love it if we could get Kyle Walker.
I think that's a good idea too, because then if
Yeah.
you wanted to play a back 3, slots in easily at that, and then
Slots in easily.
Trippier can play wing.
See it.
It's like England.
See it, guys. What will you say? This just for laughs. What will you say? Pep Guardiola saying that Phillips came in from the World Cup fat. What do you think?
I don't think he's far wrong from the pictures I've seen, like.
That was that's an amateur.
Funny,
by the way, that's an amateur move in PR. I'm surprised.
Yeah, I was surprised with that. And Pep Guardiola, who's such a professional, to come out and say that in public. What do you think that portends? Of course, I'll be having this discussion with Onome Soje, of which Steve McCullough and Bell, you're welcome to that show, actually. But Steve, I will need you on that show, please, because the new show is just starting and it's with Onome Soje. So it would be nice for you guys to pop in there. Episode 1 of the Manx and Guns show War Room. So it's starting today at 7 p.m. UK time. So yeah, what were you saying, Steve?
About what?
About that Pep Guardiola statement,
bro. I said, I think it's. I think he's frustrated. He's definitely frustrated. Maybe he's trying to embarrass Calvin Phillips.
He's trying to find out what type of character Phillips is.
Bro,
he's testing his character, isn't he?
He just came in.
If someone said that about me, I'd be doing my best to prove him wrong, and maybe that's what he's after. Right, I'm gonna have to go some little ins on the warpath, but send us the link, and if I can later on's always better for me once the little in goes down. But like I say, hope everyone had a great Christmas, and if I don't see anybody, have a great New Year.
Yeah, sure.
Yes, for having us on there, Tom.
Thank you. Yeah, sure, Andy. Thank you, everyone that came to the show today. Thank you, of course, Steve McCullough, my guy, my right-hand man. Thanks for coming to the show today. I know that Gunners and Mag is always on Monday, but of course, I traveled this week.
We had Monday games also. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I don't know. On Monday, we'll have to have Gunners and Mags. There are games on Monday, right?
Which game?
I think there's a Liverpool game on Monday.
Let me double check that. Hold up. Let me see.
I don't know.
You might be right. I think I know. I think I.
I think there should be games on Monday, but
yeah, Brentford. Yes, Brentford are hosting Liverpool.
Liverpool. So we have to find a time within those periods, or before those games, or after those games, to be able to do Gunners and Mags.
12:30 kickoff for me. So that's in Finland. That's what 8:30.
8:30, yeah, exactly.
So we could do the show after that game. So 10:30 your time or something.
Yeah, we can do a reaction game too. Yeah, and of course, Ryan Maguire will be back in the studios for the Ron and Claude show. So yeah, Ola should be coming to the show maybe on Sunday or so. No, I'm having the Minority Report with Deji Spores on Sunday. So that'll be a big one on Sunday. And of course, Steve, that'll be a big one.
Poor
So
guy.
Steve
Poor
McCall.
Spurs. I feel so bad for him.
Exactly.
Sometimes. I
Exactly.
feel
So
bad.
yeah, guys, join us after the show. In about 30 minutes time with Onome Soje and Steve McCullough for the Manx and Guns War Room Premier League show. So
There we go.
join us for that one. That'll be a good one. So it starts 7 p.m. UK time. Join us for that one, guys. And Steve, I'll allow you to do the honors to close the show for us.
Yeah, man. Make sure to like and subscribe to this fucking channel right here, Tony Cloud Gunner TV. Like, subscribe, turn on the bell, notifications, all that good stuff. If you want to check me out on Twitter, it's Stove Mahala because things are heating up. And Strasburg Steve on YouTube. I'll be doing I've been doing mad watch-alongs lately, so
yeah, he's been doing. See, yeah, guys, yeah,
a lot of me gun watch-alongs. So
this guy's a hard worker. He does his own job, and he comes back and everything he does, everything about this guy is about football. When he comes back from work, he does watch-alongs. This guy is one guy that puts in lots of work. Even before coming to this channel, he goes to other channels. He does his thing around there. This guy sincerely loves football, and he does it from the heart, and that's why I like him. And even apart from football, as a person, is a very, very wonderful person, man. Steve,
thank you.
It's great. It's great to have known you, my brother. Me and you have had our own runnings too sometimes, but it's all minor stuff, and it's all love, because you've come in, you've developed my show, you've brought lots of good good stuff and positivity to my show too, and passion also during the World Cup, and in other stuff that we've been doing apart from you smoking on the show. Amy Baba says that about you all the time. This guy smokes and drinks, and I'm like, yeah, man, he's a bad boy. What do you expect? But you know what? Yeah, Steve McCullough, thanks, man. Thanks, man. I love you, brother. You're one great guy. And obviously, you will be here on Monday for us to have the Gunners and Mac show. See, yeah, guys who are in the chat, join me in the next 20 minutes for our new show, the Max and Guns War Room Premier League show. It's episode 1 of this show. So please just try and join us, me and Onome from Manchester City. So just join us as we talk football. Big ups to you guys, and big ups, Steve McCullough. Big ups, big ups.
Big ups.
We out. We out. We out.
Fuck the fucking Magz.
We out. Let's do this.